Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1 and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Let's get right into it. Panic buying, hoarding, and price gouging has become rampant across the United States following India's recent ban on certain types of rice. And these would be rice exports. The ban was announced last week and has sent shockwaves through the global food markets because India is a major rice exporter. So, look in your areas. What is happening in your areas? I got one report here in our town, Southern Arizona. We visited Walmart this morning. There was no shortages of anything. We picked up the 40-pound bags of rice to put up. So they had no problems, but it is certain rice and it's certain exports. So let's figure out what's going on in the United States. Just under 3 years after it opens first, Amazon Fresh is laying off hundreds of workers. Amazon is cutting position known as zone leads, and this was reported by the Washington Post on Wednesday. These roles manage specific sections of its stores. Workers were informed that their jobs will be eliminated on Tuesday, and that decision is a result of cost cutting at the chain. And this comes from the Business Insider. This person sent me a picture of their rice situation, a photo, and they said 2-bag limit at rice at Costco in Virginia. This person sent me, when I was a field engineer, I was in Kendall Oil packaging plant one day, and I'm looking at the conveyor feeding Kendall quart oil, motor oil bottles to the filler. The next thing I know, farm service oil bottles start coming. At the time, the farm service would cost you 40% less than the Kendall did. So, same oil, different containers, different price. The Biden administration canceled $130 million in federal student loans for 7,400 borrowers who attended a now defunct college in Colorado, the Education Department said on Tuesday. The cancellation applies to borrowers who attended the Colorado-based location of College America between January 1st, 2006 and July 1st, 2020, according to the agency. The discharge only applies to federal student loans, not private loans or commercial loans. They decided to forgive the loan based on evidence gathered by the Colorado Attorney General that found that College America parent company, the Center for Excellence in Higher Education, made widespread misrepresentation about the salaries and employment rates of its graduates that the program offered. Borrowers will be notified in August about the discharge. The announcement said that the government is working together to deliver relief to those who have been taken advantage of. So basically, the government has decided this college had some problems, was negligent, was wrong, and so they're forgiving a debt. I don't know how they can get the authority to do this. I would go after the college that did this and sue them and make the college pay, not the American taxpayer. To date, the Biden administration has approved $116 billion in loan forgiveness through various federal programs to over 3.4 million Americans. Of those borrowers, 1.1 attended colleges that defrauded them or abruptly closed, according to the White House. Biden has made student debt relief top priority. Earlier this month, the Biden administration announced it would be canceling more than $30 billion in student loans for 800,000 borrowers under the existing income-driven repayment program. And this comes from the Epoch Times. You've probably all heard about the Pfizer plant that was destroyed by the tornado in North Carolina. Extensive damage. This person said, I was notified about the hospital where I work through an email. They are in the hospital and they do prescribe medications, so they got the email that there is definitely going to be a shortage, and it could be an extreme shortage as the existing medicine that's already in the supply chain is used up. This person says, I live in a rural Alabama town. It has a population of less than 1,000. We have a weekly newspaper that lists the arrests in the area. Today, the newspaper listed about 3 times the average number of arrests, mostly for drugs, The classified section listed 4 foreclosures. I have seen 1 or 2 foreclosures listed on occasion, but never 4 at the same time. I guess these are signs of the time. Today we went to Sam's in Texas, Victoria, Texas, which is close to our home. They bought some chicken and they were going to can it up. When they got the chicken home, it was terribly smelly. They opened it up and it was not usable. So they just want you to know, if you buy chicken, make sure you open the package up, smell it, make sure it's good before you freeze it. And that's really with any meat. Make sure it's 100% good before you freeze it. They also said people are being more aware of their spending. A Mexican restaurant we normally go to on Tuesday or Wednesday in Texas, Victoria, Texas, usually packed at lunch with every table filled. Today at noon, it was just us and 2 guys on a business lunch. That was it. The food is great as usual, good service, prices are up. The cost was $38 without a tip for the special hamburger and fries, just water or tea, and tea to drink. It is about the same everywhere right now, which is normally the price of a super meal. We looked as we left, and even the fast food places did not have as much business. So apparently the economy is definitely slowing down. I would like to add, I have seen that with prices of ammo. Ammo is still relatively expensive compared to 5-6 years ago, but I'm seeing a lot more specials on case prices of ammo. I think people are slowing down on purchases. This person said in Missouri, a new tick was found in my area saying it could affect the food chain. So there's a tick. This guy added, maybe this Chinese supply balloon dropped them when they passed overhead. I wouldn't doubt anything nowadays. This person says, I work in Georgia for a large retail company. Normally when we print out price changes, we print between 30 and 60 labels each day, with most changes between 30 cents and $1. However, during the last month, we are printing double to triple the amount of labels that we have, and we're seeing a bigger price increase on these changes. I've seen some products almost double, while the average change is at least $1 now. I told some of my coworkers that the signs of the time, and we are seeing it firsthand. This person says, my daughter has a CDL and works for Amazon, mainly moves trailers on and off the door in lots while making runs to other warehouses. And this would be in Texas. 1 day of her 4-day work week, so she moves them between warehouses. She had to renew her insurance, and it has gone up over $1,700 for 6 months. So that is a huge increase. They also said that their personal, very old Chevy 2005 that's insured in Arkansas went from $560 to $620. Everyone's insurance is going up. It's just because of inflation. It costs more just to get parts, just to get workers to repair it. That is why. I work for Costco just outside of Washington, D.C. yesterday, and this is a few days old. Our customers cleaned us out of the rice. Every time we put down a pallet, it was a feeding frenzy, and this is just certain types of rice. The people were even trying to climb our steel to get it a little bit we had left up there, literally on the higher shelves. It was insanity. Now, I know India has banned exports of certain kinds of rice, so I'm guessing that's what's going on. But let me tell you, these people were scary for me. Is this a taste of what is going to come when real shortages hit? I live in Northern California in big wine producing region. My cousin works for a large wine group running the bottling line. Has been at the company for 20 plus years. Yesterday, he and the other longtime employees were offered a retirement buyout package. The story is the company sees a slowdown in business, which will likely last several years. They see the writing on the wall. They are making moves to cut costs in an effort to stay in business. I work for a tractor company. Many of our biggest customers are closely tied to serving vineyards. So this does not bode well for me long term. If there's no demand for wine, what does it tell you will happen to the wine management business? Everything is interconnected. So yes, if the wineries don't buy as many tractors, don't work the tractors as hard, it doesn't need as much repairs, it will affect you on the other end. You've probably heard about that PJM Interconnection LLC definitely declared energy emergency level 1 yesterday. They've extended it today because of the excess heat. More people are using power, and this is the grid that's located in 13 states, Illinois to New Jersey, and they have over 65 million customers. So if you can shut off your power and don't use things today, or put off using the dryer to dry your clothes, please do that so they do not have a problem. Russian President Putin announced at the Russian-African Summit in St. Petersburg on Thursday that they'll be offering free grain to 6 impoverished African countries. This is a meeting of 17 African heads of states, and he is offering free grain free of charge. You probably heard that the Biden administration approved $400 million in additional military aid to Ukraine. This happened on Tuesday, and this is the 43rd time that we're sending weapons from our stock to Ukraine. The latest package will include air defense munitions, artillery, javelins, anti-armor, 32 Stryker armor vehicles, and the list goes on and on. So right now, we have sent Ukraine roughly $43.7 billion. Some of this is money and some of this is military hardware. I wish they would stop dipping into our military hardware supplies because we are being drained. You've probably heard that third straight year that California has experienced a decline in population. What this is causing is there's a lot of people with resources that are tired of paying high taxes, and they are exiting California. And they have lost 2021 IRS tax revenue is down $340 million because of the people moving out and not paying state tax. They say 40% of Californians are thinking about moving, and if they could afford it, they would, just because the cost of living is so high. So there you go. There's some boots on the ground. If you have anything to add to this, please send it to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. In your title, put boots on the ground. That way I can find it easily. Thanks for watching.